Hello. Today is an interesting episode. We had a couple bands reach out to me that wanted to let their voices be heard in regards to a member that was flip-flopping, jumped from one band over to the other. So I interviewed them both so they both could talk shit about each other. In a nutshell, that's what it was. But which tickles my fancy. I love the shit out of that stuff. Yeah, gossip on, fellas. Let your inner middle school schoolgirl get out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was really weird because there's this dude named Judah who's in both of the bands who, like, I wasn't expecting during the second interview. The dude shows up and it's like, wait a minute, we already interviewed Twin Lakes band Judah for Under the Pavilion. Needless to say, the dude is cheating on both of his bands. And then you have goofball Nate Petty, who used to play bass for Twin Lakes. Now he plays drums for Under the Pavilion. I don't fucking get it, but these were two great episodes. We actually got into more philosophical stuff and like faith-based and like how everyone escaped religion. I wasn't expecting that, so it was very interesting. But before we get into the show, let me thank some sponsors. Lapidary Jewelers, been holding me down, dangling me up. Lapidary Jewelers is your go-to custom jeweler. Just a couple weeks ago for Mother's Day, literally the Thursday before Mother's Day, I walk in, I hit him up. I was like, my wife's birthstone is this, so I want to have her get her something made. Sure enough, Adam busts out all these birthstones, these cool ones, and then he's like, dude, take your pick. It's like, okay. So I take my pick, this awesome triangular one, and then literally the next day, they had a sterling silver wrap on it and a necklace. It was just so sick. And that's what you can get too. They are your one-stop shop, as opposed to so many other jewelry stores outsource for the custom side, which is, I mean, you're going to pay up for that. So this is really cool what they're doing, what they've been doing for decades. His dad, Diamond Don, is the legend. He was the custom jeweler for the Minnesota Vikings, and Adam actually has a piece going out for Jerome Bettis coming up. Stefan Diggs. Dude, they're not playing around over there. So take a look. And honestly, everything is so cost-friendly. It's incredible. If you stay away from like certain cuts of diamonds and certain pieces of gold, like you're gonna be hooked up. You're gonna feel like you got to steal. So go check out Rochester Lapidary Jewelers. Also, I want to give a shout out to my homies at Social Butterfly and Social Works. Brandon at Social Butterfly has been on the come up. He's been doing work with Iconic. I obviously worked with Gary Vee a couple times. He has just been, grinding. Just won Entrepreneur of the Year from the SBA. This kid is making moves, and he also works out of the Unreal offices whenever he's in the Twin Cities. He's partnered with them, runs their social media, does all their digital content. He's stepping in as, I believe, their marketing director. Brandon is, I'm proud to call him a partner. And with Lincoln Drink, this thing has just taken off. And now we are going to have a all-female panel coming up July 9th. So make sure you stay in the loop on Lincoln Drink on all of our pages on Instagram and Facebook. That way you can be updated. And just so you know, if you ever like any of our stuff, we're going to hit you with the sales funnel so you end up attending one of our events long term. Right now they're free. They might not always be free, but just so you know, these are the go-to events, not the kind of networking event that you're going to go like be stuck being bombarded by real estate agents and car salespeople, because let's break it down. Networking events, so often they've become just a collective of salespeople, and you always feel like you're getting a pitch as opposed to a real conversation. That's the anti of what we are doing, where we're actually having real conversations. We dive deep into the creative side of the networking game, where what it takes for you to garner the attention to be able to capitalize on possible clientele through the digital age, and we are really kind of becoming the leaders of that in the state of Minnesota. If you ever see what we do with any of our events, we hit you with creative guerrilla marketing campaigns, and that is the future, because nowadays we are so saturated. The attention game is so saturated and watered down that it's very tough to garner and grab attention, and that's what we are mastering through our events, through our meetings, through our conversations. We're just doing it differently. So I really think if you're in the market for meeting people and possible investors, things like that, you should definitely come to one of our Link and Drink events. Next one being at our partners, Finnegan Brewery in downtown Minneapolis. That's our new home base on July 9th. So make sure you check it out. You can find Link and Drink 005 on Eventbrite. It will be launched here early June. So stay in the loop. Also, we have partnered with, me and Social Works have partnered with the Jordan Harbinger podcast. Jordan Harbinger has been a podcaster for, I believe, 12 years. The dude's been putting in work. He's based out of LA, ex-Wall Streeter. He's interviewed the likes of Jocko Willink, just interviewed the CEO of Google. This guy is where I want to be. I'm not going to lie. I'm really vibing with Jordan Harbinger, and we got linked up just because Brandon at Social Butterfly told me to listen to Drama Path's podcast, who is Rob Dyrdek's cousin that he always used to abuse on Fantasy Factory. Drama had Jordan on his podcast. Brandon told me to listen to Jordan's podcast or Drama's podcast. The Jordan episode was the first one I tuned into. Next day, I just take a screenshot of me listening to it, and then I put it on my Instagram story. Jordan Harbinger hits me up. And our relationship has blossomed since then. We might do something future tense with him and Jocko Willink coming here, if the numbers make sense. That way you can grab value. Jocko Willink is beyond one of the most badass Navy SEALs to ever walk our planet. He is now a corporate coach. This guy, it translates over with how Navy SEALs teams are ran and how corporate teams are ran. And Jocko Willink is a master of team building and team prospering. So you should really kind of like dive into what Jordan Harbinger is doing. You're going to see us running his social media here before too long. We just had our meeting on Monday, and we're going to take the dive, start building funnels for him. So you should definitely look into Jordan Harbinger. And honestly, like if anybody wants their social media to prosper, especially their business pages, you got to get a hold of us, because we have tapped into something that we can honestly say only about 10% of social media managers can capitalize on and can do. And I truly believe my partners are in a league of their own. We are building accounts daily, and we are kind of capitalizing on the new wave. I didn't just bring Gary Vee here last year on a whim. I brought him here to tell you to your face that you're fucking up, that right now the gold rush for social media and attention is right now. You're going to miss the boat if you don't allow us to run your social media, and that I can promise you. Also, I want to give a shout out to Tori Utley at Doc's Recovery House. She's our grant writer. She's on the board for Where the Minds Meet. She is someone who is my right hand, my wing lady. She is my she holds me down. I can honestly say that. Tori Utley is. I always say, I laugh and we laugh to each other. You're my spirit animal. No, you're my spirit animal. And it's mutual. Tori has my back and I've got hers. And the sky's the limit when her and I work together. We've been having coffee meetings for a few years now, and it's just turned into a great friendship. I'm really proud of what she's doing at Doc's Recovery House, giving people a way out before they go to treatment, where they're able to get a bed and get out of whatever they're dealing with for the time being before they go off to treatment, while their paperwork and their funding is getting taken care of. So Tori Utley is my go-to girl. Also, I want to give a shout out to the Back Pocket Podcast. You gotta love these boys. They are doing a lot of grinding up in the Twin Cities. Their interviews are on point, and they're a couple of goofballs too. Listen to our last episode we just did. Where they came on, we played a game called Breastfed or Formula. That's where we all call our mom live on the show and ask them. We put them on the spot, whether we were breastfed or formula fed. Let's just say Andrew's mom just left happy hour with the gals, and it was interesting to say the least. Tune into that. Also, subscribe to the Back Pocket Podcast. Yesterday, I went to Optimal Movement, my boy Dr. Phil Kish's spot, who is doing great things, and he just always keeps advancing with his medicine practice and what he's doing for alternative opportunities to take care of our body. I sat down in this chair that is electrically charged, and it goes in and it like fires off the mitochondria and the nerves in parts of your body that really need it. And we put this pad on my lower back, and oh my gosh, you could just feel it going down your glutes and your hamstrings and your lower back and up your spine. And it was just like refiring off nerves that haven't felt good for a while, and it's just so magical. And that's just one thing Phil does. He's a master acupuncturist as well. He's also brought in this new wave chiropractor, Dr. Josh, who is just a beast. He is he's a plant medicine connoisseur as well as a master chiropractor, and these guys are up to something. I can't wait to watch them exponentially grow and do more and more and more for the human body. So with that being said, please, as you're listening to these podcasts, take the time to rate, influence friends to subscribe to the show. We really want this thing to take off. I feel my interviews are becoming on point. I honestly can say, you'll catch me kind of go out of the pocket a little bit and goofing off a little bit, but just know it's always in fun. And I'm confident in my conversation skills to be able to sway away from the beaten path and have fun with my guests and make it so it's not so much an interview, but it's a conversation. I really pride myself on that. My interview skills are I'm mastering them, and I'm really confident with where they're going. And because I've got big interviews coming up with some, I can honestly say, world leaders, and I'm very, very lucky, but it took so much trial to be able to get to this point, and I'm really grateful for each and every one of my listeners. Hit me up. Get yourself some gear, some merch. I'll hook you up. Maybe if you're lucky, if you're stateside, I'll pay for the shipping. Get a hold of me. I love you guys so much. Enjoy the show.
I'm gonna be high as a fucking man.
And now, the stationary astronaut.
All right, here we are with Twin Lakes Band. No longer. Were you guys ever a 4-piece band?
No. It was always 3-piece.
Always 3-piece?
Yeah, I guess I forget I have to have a microphone.
Yep.
Yes, it's always been a 3-piece.
Always been a 3-piece. You guys, when I saw you for the second time is when you kind of pulled my heartstrings, and I was just telling Rob about this before we went hot when I saw you at Kathy's one night, and that was a phenomenal show. But it's beyond that. It's how unique you guys sound, which allows me to, as a consumer, to know you guys are able to scale up because you don't sound like everybody else. Where does that uniqueness come from? I know a lot of it stems from your voice, Rob. Talk dirty to me.
I think we got a lot of things going for us right now. I mean, I think in terms of songwriting, I think we try to tell a little bit of a story. I think I've heard a lot of things about my voice being unique, which is good, I think, considering I'd rather be more unique than similar. But on like other parts of it, like I'll say it. I think we have. He will never say it, but I'll say it, and I can get flack for it. I think we have one of the best drummers in Rochester, and that's Mr. Alex Ortberg right over there.
Thanks, Rob.
Because I feel like my like songwriting is very like percussive and it's very rhythmic and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's like I can I can kind of get like the skeleton of a song, and I can give it to Alex, and Alex knows exactly what he's supposed to do, and that's to have it so smooth like that is just fucking unbelievable.
Well, Alex, you're a badass producer too. I've seen you working out of the new Carpet Boot Studios with my boy Zach Zern lately, correct?
Yep.
And you also have kind of a side mission. I don't know if that's the right way to talk about it, but called Winter State. You guys just had a launch last Saturday, correct?
That's correct.
How'd that go?
It went great. Yeah, I think we played really well. Twin Lakes was the headliner, and I know it seems weird to a lot of people to have a different band headline your opening show, but or your release show, but. My singer, Kelvin, he's from Seattle, and he says that's kind of how the West Coast does it. So we had Twin Lakes headline the show, and it turned out pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought both of our performances were like pretty top notch. I don't know.
Yeah.
We were definitely having a blast.
I mean, it's easy to perform well in a venue like that. Because I think I remember you saying while you were on stage that there's the best monitor mix you've ever had. So it's the venue has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, shout out to Pure Rock Studios.
Thanks, Ryan Utterbach.
Yeah, our boy Ryan. How long have you been working to put together Winter State? Because it was really interesting to me to see the drummer from Twin Lakes having side project because you're also a producer as well, correct?
Yeah. Technically, if we're going to get technical, I'm the drummer for Winter State, drumming for Twin Lakes, because Winter State's been around for, not as Winter State, but as a group between Kelvin and I, been around for 3 years, something like that. And the only reason that is because I met him during grad school at Berkeley, and then we started kind of writing together, and over the 3 years, he moved to Seattle after Berkeley, and I moved back to Rochester for some other work. But since then, we've been, over the internet writing songs together. So it's been existing in the ether of the internet for about the last 3 years. But as a physical, tangible product, it hasn't really been anything until the last maybe 6 months.
Shout out to the internet.
Isn't that cool?
Yes,
How
shout out to the internet.
Do you guys remember Indaba?
I have no idea what that is.
Indaba was a platform where it was straight up, in a nutshell, producer based, where it's like you would go to collab with other producers. That's how I met my second engineer. Off Indaba, it was crazy. I did a world search, and I didn't narrow it down. And a dude from Faribault, Minnesota pops up. He went to IPR and stuff like that. And I was like, holy shit, what are the odds? But it was so cool because it was also a remix platform. So producers would go there to make remixes, and then you'd win contests. You get put on. It was like sometimes tournament style. So it was kind of battle of producers. All the while, like these cats that they were producing, like I remember there was a Skrillex remix and stuff like that. So Skrillex would provide all of his sounds, and you go in and make a remix of his song. Cool. So it was just, I don't know if Indaba's still popping, but it was dope for a while there. Super dope. Okay, so I don't see, I was expecting to see Nate here. Long-haired Nate. Now, I know you guys said there's no bad blood, so I would prefer to get into it just so people can know, because it is very important for people who are going to be consuming your shows to know where all legs stand. Now, what the hell's going on with the long-haired goofball?
Well, we replaced one long-haired goofball with another long-haired goofball.
Yeah, now we got Judah, the other Alex.
So we still got a long hair going on, but I think Robert can more accurately describe kind of how that whole process went. 'Cause I was not really part of it.
I don't know. Well, I don't even think I was really part of it. I guess I don't think anything that we did or he did really was like impactful for him to leave, or I don't think there was no like breakout fights or anything like that. Like I mean, yeah, me and him definitely like butt heads, like creative wise, some like occasionally here and there, but
Yeah.
it wasn't out of like anger or malice. It was more so out of like passion, because me and him are definitely two very headstrong, passionate people. Like he once said, he's like, you're not a yes man, and I'm not a yes man either. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good point. So I don't know.
So you guys would clash.
Yeah, but like I wouldn't say it was like
Not in a nasty way.
Yeah.
Not
no.
Lennon McCartney.
Yes, there was no fisticuffs going on.
yeah, we weren't like calling.
However disappointed I was
people
about that. It would be fun to watch Nate and Robert go at it. But
Yeah, if we got on like in a fight on stage, just start fucking going at it.
I would provide the backing beat for you. That would be
So
amazing.
did you guys just have kind of this come to Jesus where it's like it's best if I step away? Or was it I'm quitting, I'm just done, I'm over this, I've got more important shit to do? What was it?
I think it was probably a combination of the two. I don't think it's as black as white, black and white as that. Yeah, like Robert said, I think it was definitely more along the lines of creative differences to the point where I think Nate kind of felt like he was almost like just a session player or a bass player in Robert's project, which I can totally understand, because Robert writes all the material. I mean, he doesn't write the bass parts for Nate, but he does write the songs and then kind of says, hey, Nate, here are the chords, or hey, whoever. I was playing bass sometimes too, so he would do that with me as well. And I think Nate wanted to take a little bit more of an active role, but that as it functions, as Twin Lake functions, that wasn't exactly kind of conducive. It was. We had we were on two different pages. Essentially, is what I'm trying to say. So that kind of led Nate to be a little bit frustrated, and I totally understand that as well. No knock against him, but I think that's kind of where he was coming from.
Did he ever have an opportunity, and I won't speak for him, did he ever have an opportunity to step up and maybe like bring a song to the table? Like, hey, guys, I've been working on this.
Yeah, we performed and kind of arranged, and we even had Loudmouth Brass play with us on this one too. He had one of his songs we titled Macabre. Macabre, Macabre. I don't know how to. We title songs in ways that we don't know how to pronounce. Anyways, one of his songs was definitely a staple in our set list for sure.
So there was opportunity there.
There was, yes, but like I said, Robert writes all of his material, and he kind of has a vision for kind of how his songs need to go and how they fit together, and like he knows what's going on this record, he knows what's going on the next record, so it's a very,
I don't know what's going on in like 3 records from now.
we don't need to worry about that, but he does have a very specific vision, and I think Nate was looking for something a little bit more open, a little bit more collaborative. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That gets very tough when you have when you're working on other projects, Alex, and when everybody might have a day job and things like that, where it gets tough to like always be in the creative space in regards to being able to collaborate as a unit all the time, because say your studio time's getting paid for by Capitol Records or whatever that may be, where you are literally paid to just live in the studio every single day. And then the creative juices flow, and then there's going to be banter, there's going to be arguments, but everyone gets to play a role. As a songwriter on a daily basis, you're writing songs outside of the element where you're not together all the time, I'm guessing. Where it's just...
Yeah, that's the main way that songs come. At
Yes.
least the skeleton of the song.
And at least right now.
Right.
I mean,
It could definitely change.
How many rehearsals have the three of us had? Total?
Like 3? I think we've had as many rehearsals as we've had shows together.
There you go.
So
busy lives.
It's definitely going to change.
Busy lives, man. And it's but the thing is that those are the stories that make you. It's when you still stick with it. You don't give up and you just keep grinding. And those are the story. Like we just watched last week. We just watched this Lennon documentary, and it was so interesting because it was life after the Beatles for him while he was still creative. And it was just so interesting because it's like he still kept his team around him, and he just, like we did today, he just brought people to his house. It's like, no, we'll set up the studio over here by the kitchen. That way, when we need a creative break, then we can go grab some food, grab some coffee, but we're back at it. And those are the kind of stories I like, why I like backlog stories, why I like to understand, and listeners like to understand what's going on with the band. Where do you come from? When do you write your songs? When do you take your morning shits, Rob? Things like that. We like to know it. No, all jokes aside, I really think, do we book this? Because we booked this one out almost 2 months.
Yeah.
So was Nate still a part of the band when we booked it out?
No.
I don't even remember.
I don't think so.
Damn, y'all really kept this hush-hush.
Yeah.
I mean,
We knew
didn't-
for like a couple weeks before like anything was posted on Facebook.
Okay.
I mean, we didn't really.
And he knew like a month ahead.
Yeah. Well,
What, are you the oracle, Alex?
no,
I can see that.
Nate just came to me with all of his kind of creative grievances. Yeah, because I mean, I think some of them were definitely voiced to Robert, but I think Nate kind of found
Solace in you, yes, I get it. And
having
that's
somebody to talk to at least.
That's one of the tough things about having a 3-piece band is someone's got to play the middleman.
Yeah, Alex is definitely very level-headed.
Yeah.
At least I think I was the most level-headed of the three of us.
Yeah.
But now we got Judah, and I don't know, he might give me a run for his money, for my money.
You're in trouble, Judah. No, you seem cool and collected, Judah. Is that kind of how you represent yourself?
Yeah, I try to just make it work, keep my mouth shut, my ears open.
We don't call him Big Papa Pump for nothing.
Big Papa Pump? Dang, bro. Chill, dog. Silly goose.
No comment.
No comment? You better be commenting, big boy. No, it's really cool because I like when adversity comes along, a band can still get through it. And that's where, like, let's be honest, okay, so let's go down our favorite bands ever who lost a key piece and kept it moving. We saw Pink Floyd. What was it? Roger Waters and Syd Barrett could not get along to save their soul. So what'd they do? They just traveled and played the songs they wrote on the road. In a nutshell. That's obviously a major example. Then you have John Lennon, Paul McCartney splitting up. Who else can you guys think of where like a prominent musician left a band and still kept it trucking?
I don't know. This is kind of like more modern. It's like a modern sort of like hardcore metal band, but Dance Gavin Dance. They've been through like 3 singers. Like and they've have like 8 albums, which is crazy to me too. I don't know how but they have had the same guitarist through all 8 albums. Same guitarist, bassist, and drummer, which is crazy as like a guitarist because I don't know how you could write 8 albums worth of material. Oh my God.
Escape the Fate was another one that lost their lead singer and continued to go on for like 2 more albums. I don't know if you're into Escape the Fate at all, but they had some bangers after.
Well,
the
now
first singer.
Dance Gavin Dance and Escape the Fate.
Yeah.
Dude, y'all are hitting me with some of that new. Holy shit.
No, Escape the Fate, baby.
Get in the mic, would you?
Yeah, no problem.
There we go, Judah. Now I can hear you. You're all dialed in. Is there any other examples?
Seosin.
I mean, Ozzy went through several guitar players.
Yeah.
His sound changed quite a bit over the years because of it. Van Halen.
Van Halen?
Yeah.
Who was that other guy? Why can't I think of his name?
God. Wow. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, it is.
Sammy. Don't they have the docudrama on Netflix right now?
No, that's Kiss.
That's Motley Crue.
Motley Crue.
Motley Crue,
Yeah,
yeah.
Motley Crue. Yeah, Motley Crue.
You know, 80s hair metal bands, man.
it's
They're all the
just
same.
throwing
Bro.
darts.
Yeah, throwing darts. No, it's really interesting. I like it.
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth.
David
There it
Lee
is.
Roth. There we go.
There it is.
No, I like because it's the backlog story that people love. It's beyond the stage presence, shit like that. It's the animosity in the backdrop. That's why they make these docuseries. That's why John Lennon comes out with his own separate documentary aside from Paul McCartney telling his story. You know, we get to hear the dirt. Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal. Years later, writing rap songs about one another. Dude, what is it about American society where we love animosity within groups that are supposed to love one another? Alex, you went to Berkeley. Talk to me, sir.
There was no animosity at Berkeley, that's for sure. No,
Wait,
what?
a music department with no animosity?
I'm calling bullshit right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I'm calling bullshit right now.
No, it was definitely a very, I mean, obviously it's very competitive. But, I mean, once you're a student there, it didn't seem, and maybe it's different in the undergrad program than it is in the master's, but it did not seem very like people were competing against each other. There was definitely a lot of collaboration, definitely a lot of work between people, and people supporting other people and having people on their projects and stuff like that, helping people out, producer wise, recording wise, whatever, being session musicians. So no, I didn't feel like there was any bad beef between people, unless it was outside of the musical realm.
I've heard stories about the pressure to get first chair and how cutthroat it can get.
I think that's more like Juilliard classical schools. Yeah, Berkeley is contemporary based, so there really isn't first chairs.
Yeah, I've just heard those stories, but I did see this one documentary with this actor. I forgot his Mason something or whatever, but he was a drummer. He was a drummer in school, and he was working his way up, and it was just high pressure environment, and he actually had to put in the hours to become, in a nutshell, a classically trained freaking drummer to be able to play this part in this movie, and it was so intense. I don't know if you guys have seen it.
Are we talking about Whiplash?
Yeah, Whiplash.
Yeah.
Dude, that was a good movie, but it just showed the pressure from the top down of trying to, make it.
Yeah, that's not an accurate representation.
It probably isn't.
Of course, I have not been to a classical school, but
I went to school for musical theater, so that was cutthroat as hell.
Was it?
well, okay, theater's a different story.
Yeah.
And especially in a small program where you're competing for the same roles with the same 10 people, and maybe 5 of them meet the type of the role. So you're continually going up against the same 4 people. It's going to be me, it's going to be him. So that was my experience with school. I understand that once you get to graduate school, everybody's a little bit older, a little bit wiser, a little bit level-headed, but
On the same page.
on the same page. Got out a lot of that.
You don't have
childishness.
freshmen and then senior.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly. Yeah. Totally.
See, and I could see that in theater where it's like Becky's mom paid the Don freaking $80,000 at USC, and it's like,
Well, that was not my experience, but I can see it.
Becky deserves the top spot. Now Becky's acting in the next Avatar movie.
But God, Becky's
mommy
so
paid.
pitchy.
They're making one of those.
Yeah, Avatar 2's coming out.
Avatar
eventually.
2, the musical.
Yeah, the musical. That'd be hilarious.
I'm gonna get some shit for this, but I actually liked that movie, and I know it's pretty much Pocahontas in modern day
space.
form, but I thought it was cool.
It was the best.
It was pretty.
It was the best.
It was pretty.
It was a great metaphor for what has always gone on. And it kind of opened, that's why people had Avatar depression. It was an eye-opening experience to force it down your throat in a Pixar film or a Disney film where it's like, no, we are fucking up this planet. We're fucking up native tribes. We've always just came in with these conquests as white people and freaking demolished everything, even the sacred trees.
Yeah, I enjoyed the message, and obviously the cinematography and the animation was fantastic, and that world that they created was incredible. So,
Do you ever work on any scores, Alex?
I have not. No, that is a completely different program at Berkeley that I did not even feel like touching.
Yeah.
It's a whole different animal, that kind of thing.
Well, I've seen you pick up multiple instruments, so I wasn't sure if you're able to get down on a keyboard or anything like that.
I cannot play any classical instruments. So, like, I think I was in the education program in my undergrad for maybe a year or two. So I did get some, like, saxophone, clarinet, flute lessons. So, but to claim that I can play those instruments would be far-fetched.
I'm not gonna lie, it'd be dope to see you playing a flute. Rob, talk him into it, bro.
Oh no, there will be no Yaz flute from me.
Can we cover Aqualung?
Let's go, baby.
Not with me, you can't, dude. It's gonna be a one-note version of Aqualung.
That's funny. Do you guys have any kind of like high expectations for yourself coming up, or big endeavors you're really hammering home towards so you can announce and release?
Yeah. I feel like we have a lot of expectations
June
for
1st
ourselves.
is the big one, right?
June 1st is the big one.
Yep.
We're releasing a music video
Shot in my basement.
shot in Mr. Judah's basement. It's good. It's a good music video. It was done by Nathaniel Nelson at Treedom. Yeah, shout out to Nathaniel Nelson.
Did a great job.
Yeah, it's good. It's
got a concept.
It's got a concept.
Robert came up with a concept, and we all kind of collaborated on it, right?
Yeah, essentially. So then, yeah, it's crazy that it all played out fairly accurately to what kind of the idea we had.
Do you want to tell them what song the video's for?
This is gonna be a stationary astronaut exclusive.
Let's go.
Release.
Let's go.
It's gonna be for a song. It's my mom's favorite song. It's my dad's favorite song.
Shout out, fam.
It's my favorite song. The sun always rises.
Let's go, dude.
Yeah.
In the name of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. It's kind of it's a song that's kind of important. Like, it's probably the song that's the most meaningful to me, at least. It's so about a year and a half ago, I was rock climbing out in Red Wing, and I fell like 15 feet onto like some like straight up rock, like halfway up the route. So like, okay, first I climbed up about like 7 feet, then I put in a cam or whatever, and then like a little bit above that, so the cam was about like 10 feet up. Then I climbed another like 5 feet above that, and as I was putting in another piece of protection, I fell right on this like ledge that was halfway up the cliff, and it like just snapped my right foot. I was like, instantly, I was just looked down, and I was like, oh yeah, this shit's totally broken. And so anyways, I get lowered down, and my friend Garrison had to, shout out to Garrison, he had to fucking hoist me up and help me down Barn Bluff and took me to the ED in Red Wing, a Mayo Clinic ED. Shout out to the nurse that was working there. Oh my god damn. If I ever see that girl again in different circumstances, I'm not a patient anymore, baby. No, she oh man. This was like, I had to look forward to something because my leg's fucking broken. So I'm sitting in the ED laying on the bed, and she comes in and she's like, "Are you in pain?" I'm like, "Oh no worries, I'm not in pain." And then she's like, "Okay," and then she walks out, and then she comes back in like maybe 10 minutes later. She's like, "Are you in pain?" I was like, "Nah." And she's like, "You're in pain." And I was like, "Okay." And she's like, I got some fentanyl for you." I'm like, "Hell yeah."
Shout out to fentanyl.
She gave me some fentanyl, and it was like, "Woo." Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's your time to shine when you get injured. That's your time to just get as high as you fucking want in the ER, bro.
So, anyways,
You're playing tough guy.
Well, yeah, no. Good thing she gave me that though, because if I would have fell asleep that night, I would have woke up in a lot of fucking pain after the adrenaline was gone. Anyways, so broke my leg, wasn't able to walk for like 3 months. Had surgery on my birthday, so my birthday September 14th. I broke my leg September 12th. So there's 2 days of me just laying in my fucking apartment in Rochester, and then I had surgery. And then I called my mom and was like, hey, yeah, I broke my leg. You think you could come help take care of me? And God bless them. Love my parents. They came. They picked me up. They brought me back to South Dakota. And I was on my butt for about 3 months. All I did was play guitar and write songs. And that's about it. And then I kind of realized, like... It kind of was like I fell off the face of the planet. Like, all my friends, I don't know, like, because I'm taking, my parents' house is in this valley. There's, like, no cell phone reception at all. So I wasn't getting texts from anybody. I wasn't, like, even really getting a lot of, like, messages from anybody. I just kind of fell off the face of the planet. And so it was, like, 3 months of me contemplating what's, like, the point of all this. Like, if I were to die today, like, absolutely nothing would happen. Like, there would be I would have made no impact to society. So I was thinking about that because, like, even if I did die on that cliff, like, in the newspaper, I don't know even if I probably would have made, like, the Red Wing newspaper, like, but it wouldn't have been, like, Robert Bounty dies on cliff. It would have been, like, climber dies on barn bluff. That would have been the headline. Like, it wouldn't even be about me. It would just be about, like, the act or whatever. And so I just kind of started thinking about life and death and all this shit. And that's when I kind of wrote that song, The Sun Always Rises. And it's about how, like, you always go through life thinking that you're going to have another day. Like, there's another day, another day, another day. But eventually, you're not going to have another day. And eventually, the sun is going to rise without you. And it's like, and it really doesn't really matter. And so... I guess that's essentially what the song is about and why it's the most meaningful to me. And every time we play it, I still feel kind of like the exact same as I did when I wrote it.
Isn't that a crazy reality to think life goes on after we pass on? Where it's like, oh my gosh, there will be pain, but the stages of grief kick in and you eventually get past it. And it's crazy to realize life without you in it. Life without you in it. Everything else goes on. Gravity still exists. The tides still move. They didn't change. Donald Trump's hair still flows in the wind. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't a part of it. And it's fucked up because we don't know. What we do know is when moments like that happen, well, it's time to execute on every moment now. I got to make the most. I got to squeeze this life like an orange.
Exactly.
You know, got to capitalize on it. And it's happened throughout history. Light sheds from darkness, where the phoenix rises from the ashes. Robert limps down a hill.
Are these guys totally going to, like, give us a ticket? These community service people are eyeing our cars up.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
Yo, they're trying to ticket you, dog. Get out. Go move your shit. Go move your shit quick. Go move your shit. Hurry up, because you can't park there. Go move your shit. They never do this. Out of all the days they come, to my fucking neighborhood. Out of all the days they come, they never fucking do this, bro. They're even double fisting. Bro, this is so fucked up. This is so fucked up. Bro. I'm just giving a play-by-play. What'd she say? Better watch your feet. They're walking through barefoot through my shitty front yard. Be careful. Did you step in dog shit with your bare feet?
I did not.
Okay, good. How about you, Rob?
No.
What'd she say?
She said,
What did you tell them to make them go away?
I just winked at her and I blew her a kiss, and she said, "It'll be all right for today."
For real?
Yeah, for real.
That's the first time I've ever seen them patrolling out here.
Just our luck, right?
That's fucked up. I don't know. I don't like that because I feel like I'm being watched. But anyways, what I was saying
I think we were
is
talking about that too.
the phoenix rising from the ashes, good things coming out of atrocities, you know, and that's kind of people talk about how happy the world was after 9/11, how like you could walk around New York City and everyone was joyous and happy after obviously the shitty times passed, but everyone was just kind of like more connected.
it's like that quote. It's like, bad times create strong men create good times create weak men.
That sounds like a vicious cycle.
Yeah, exactly. But like hard times create better people, and that's like essentially, I don't know.
Anger leads to hate.
So true though. It is.
Hatred leads to suffering.
It's so true.
Suffering to the dark side.
Judah.
Yeah.
Why do people call you Judah when your name's Alex? Is that your middle name or some shit?
Because he already had Alex.
Uh-huh.
And I answered to Judah. And I've been trying to get that nickname over for a really long time. There was never another Alex, I guess, worthy to take my place. And now
Yeah.
I finally found one that that exceeds me. So yeah, so I've taken second banana here, and now I'm taking my middle name. So
Oh, there we go. I feel like I want to call Alex over here Albot.
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 Oh,
I've never been called Albot, but I will accept that.
I kind of want to call you Albot. I feel
right.
like you're a machine. Like I feel like, whenever someone takes on multiple projects, because that's my life. So I envy those people because I understand. I can empathize. And whenever you're wearing multiple hats, you're like a fucking machine, dude. Albot.
If I'm a machine, I'm scared to think what John Sievers is.
Sievers. That dude he's a legend.
If we want to talk about having multiple projects on your plate, damn.
John Bot.
Yeah, John Bot, no kidding. John Mastermind Computer runs the Rochester music scene pretty much. But yes, I do wear a lot of hats.
Albot.
before we move on for our music video, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to a special person that we featured in it.
Yes.
Yes, a good friend of mine. She is a incredible massage therapist at Optimal Movement. She's taught yoga around
Marissa?
town. Yes, Marissa Bite.
Yeah.
She was kind enough to come over and spend a few hours. She we did a whole choreographed a whole routine that's in the video, and she did a great job. And yeah, I just want to give a special shout out to her because she's awesome.
Yeah, and shout out to Phil at Optimal Movement
Yes.
as well. And his entire staff, dude. They're scaling up. I love it.
Yeah.
If you watch our music video for anything, watch it for her performance.
Ooh, Marissa.
She kicks ass.
Talk
She
dirty
does-
to
she
me,
does kick
Marissa. Okay, so here's the deal. I like to hear. Okay, so we just heard Rob's shitty moment. That was his jet fuel. And no, I like to get this out of people where there was like a moment where you were just down in the dumps, whether life kicked you in the teeth or whatever that may be, and you were forced to rise. I like to hear those stories because they really motivate people to let you know to never quit. We're going to go over to you, Al. Was it the move to Berkeley where reality kicked you in the teeth? You're like, holy shit, I'm actually doing this? Or what was it?
Well, first of all, the to be able to make the choice to leave not only your city or your state, but your entire country and go to a completely new culture. And I mean, I knew very little Spanish, so it was kind of a complete immersion experience. And that was a very, I mean, it wasn't a difficult decision. I knew I wanted to go, but it's hard to leave your friends and family for 10 months, go to a completely different country where you have no idea what you're doing, and try to focus on your learning as best you can. It's a lot, and most of my colleagues or most of my peers have kind of said that as well. So it was a big thing. But once I got over there was some homesickness at first, but then it's just the experience is so incredible that you do not regret a single moment of it, even though you are away from friends and family for 10 months. Mm-hmm. And like we said before, it's not necessarily, it wasn't necessarily a shitty experience, but being away from friends and family is shitty. Mm-hmm. And then being able to be back with them after 10 months, it was even more sweet, right? So like we talked about, shitty experiences making life a little bit more sweet after the fact. That was definitely the case. We had a lot of stories to tell, a lot of things to catch up on, and it was good being back home.
Where's Berkeley School of Music?
Berkeley is based out of Boston, Massachusetts, but that is or was for a long time just an undergrad campus. They do have a master's program now, but I was the fifth class to go through their new master's campus in Valencia, Spain.
Yo.
So, and that was back when I went through it, that was purely just a master's campus. Mm-hmm. Now they have undergrad programs and stuff like that. But yeah, so Berkeley is based in Boston, but they do have a master's campus in Spain.
Damn, that ain't a cheap undertaking.
No.
Dude, to go to Spain for school? Oh my God.
But I mean, I've found that program. It was exactly what I wanted to study. It was contemporary performance. I obviously chose to go for drum set with a production emphasis, and that was exactly what I was looking for. It was Berklee College of Music, very esteemed, and it was in Spain. I pretty much asked myself, why the hell wouldn't I go?
Yeah.
So it was a pretty easy choice to make.
That's what's up, man. Rob, you got another shitty story? Come on, Rob.
Judah
break our fucking hearts.
Shitty.
Come on, Judah. Break our hearts, Judah.
I have a shitty story.
Do you have a shitty story?
I mean, I have a lot of shitty stories. Which one do you want to hear?
I want to hear the one that set you up for where it was kind of your aha moment, your realization, where you knew you didn't no longer believe or think or feel. You absolutely knew where your trajectory was headed.
Well, lately, so I've always kind of always wanted to be a performer since high school. That's when I kind of got the bug. And then after college, I worked in the regional theater around the Midwest and southern states, doing a lot of stuff like that. And so when I first got out of college, I took a job. It's for a company called Blue Gate Musicals. They're based out of Shipshewana, Indiana. And what they do is they basically produce original musicals based on these Amish novels. Yeah. And
let's go build some furniture today.
Oh, dude.
Who needs a roof? Let's go get you a new roof. Shit like that or what?
Yeah, I'm not going to sing any
Rob.
of it, but you can check it out, BlueGateMusicals.com.
Rob, let's create an Amish fucking anthem, dog.
Hey,
Alex doesn't know how to score.
But the crazy thing was,
Yo, we got Zern for that.
The crazy thing was, though, is that there's a market for it.
Yeah.
Because I was playing to sold-out houses most nights, and at least in the summer. So
God, they fucking love them Amish people.
They do, and they bring these tour buses through of these tourists who go to all the Amish farms, the Amish restaurants, and they buy these they're like mystery dinner tickets. So they get dinner, the bus ride, and a show, and
God,
they don't really even know where they're going.
People, not zoo animals.
But hey, these were non-Amish people?
No.
These were?
These were older white people who are not Amish.
Okay, I was going to say, because they better be coming in on horseback if they're fucking Amish.
No, a lot of horses though. But anyways, I did this 9-month contract with them when I first got out of high school, and it was great. I loved it. It was a great first job. I mean, like the perks were amazing. They fed you, they housed you. It was great, and you got to perform.
All
to
the Amish ladies, looking to get out.
Yeah, that was the issue, is that you were stuck in the middle of Amish country for 9 months, and so I took this job later when I needed some money, and man, I just felt like the most devoid of creativity, because you learn like 3 or 4 shows and then you perform them for 8 months. So really, once you learn them, there's no more challenge. You have to really work to challenge yourself to get that performance when you're on show, 100 of this run. And so just doing it in and day out is really when I got into quite a creative slump. I was working on songs for way longer than I should have been working on them, just hitting roadblocks after roadblocks. I'm working on producing some of my own music. I've written my own music for a long time. And then so when I finally got done with that job, I was just like, I can't waste any more time. Kind of like the similar realization that Robert has was, I can't take jobs that don't challenge me anymore. I can't play music that doesn't challenge me anymore, because I only have a certain amount of time before, creatively I peak. Creatively, my talent is peak.
Yep.
Really
someday I will never be a better guitar player than I. My technique will go down vocally. With guitar, with bass, everything will go down at some point. So before I get to that point, I want to challenge myself to be the best I can be. And if I take things that are just easy, and I have nothing against Bluegate. They're a great company. They provide awesome work for actors in 4 different locations. But after doing that contract a second time, I just realized that it wasn't a challenge anymore, and I can't spend a year of my life doing something that doesn't push me to where I feel uncomfortable.
And let's be honest, the internet is awesome.
Shout out to the internet.
Shout out to the internet.
Shout out to the internet.
There's no way you were on the internet.
Judah, what is your project called?
Right now it's called Super Violent Anime.
Damn right it is.
All one word. Yeah.
You can follow him on Instagram, Super Violent Anime.
And there is some stuff on SoundCloud.
He also has shirts.
Yeah, shirts.
Really cool shirts.
What kind of music is this?
It's similar to Twin Lakes, I'd say, in that kind of indie folk rock vibe, like percussive guitar. It's really in pieces right now, so I don't think it has really found its voice yet, but, we're working.
Super Violent Anime.
Yeah.
That's dope. I could do the music videos for that.
Right?
Yeah, could be super dope. We'll have to pay out, but
It could be super violent anime.
it could be. It could be some really
With
violent
super
anime.
violent anime.
Like South
maybe
Park
that's-
on steroids,
Maybe
only
that's
anime edition.
2 on hitting the nail 2 on the head.
Yeah, I think it should be like chibi anime, like the little cutesy ones.
Like hentai.
Yeah.
Do you remember Gorillas? The Gorillas? I could see it being the Gorillas.
This took a dark turn.
Yeah, it's just got leave it
give
up
the
to
people
Rob
what they
to
want.
take us down the fucking
Octopus.
fentanyl highway. He just takes us down.
I'm not surprised at all.
Takes us down the fentanyl highway. Damn, dude, we got to get a hold of that nurse though. We got to
shout
find
out
her.
to that nurse.
How long
into
ago?
Red
tentacle
Wing,
stuff?
Minnesota.
How long tentacles? How long ago was it that you broke your foot?
A year and a half ago.
Oh, she probably still works there.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, dude, down in the valley
I
down
didn't
there.
see
Yeah,
a ring.
That was
dude, you better go.
that was right before I joined then.
Yeah.
Because the September before I joined.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
What are some nicknames you guys have for each other in the band?
Big Pop.
Big Papa
Big
Pump,
Papa Pump, Judah.
Judah.
I don't.
Albot,
What do you? Well,
Albot,
that is a new one.
dickhead.
Motherfucker.
The cream rises. Albot.
I don't know. I think that I don't have any nicknames for
Yeah.
Rob
Yeah.
except for maybe Rob.
I was gonna be calling you Big Shot Rob today. After
Okay.
Robert Horry.
We got Big Shot Rob and Big Papa Pump.
Yeah, Big Papa Pump, Big Shot Rob, and Albot.
Well, there we go. You heard it here first. A stationary astronaut exclusive.
Exclusive. So many exclusives. Now, I like to get weird, okay? So this is where we're going to talk about things that Albot might have dabbled in Spain, things Rob might have dabbled in,
Nah.
things Judah might have
Pass.
dabbled in. Bullshit, bro. Bullshit. I want to know if you guys have ever had a psychedelic experience.
No.
It could be through breath work, Rob. It doesn't have to be through taking 14 strips of acid.
What about like 15?
Then you're fucking, that's a superhero dose. You're fucking Albot for centuries on, dude. Oh, shit. That could have been bad.
Nice catch.
Nice catch.
Excuse me?
Yeah, we don't. I've never done anything like that personally, but I do see where people are coming from on taking something like that, like an hallucinogen. I know.
I don't work for Mayo, so
You're going to have to plead the fifth.
no, I'm not gonna have to plead the fifth because I am a private contractor, so I don't have any hang-ups like that.
You're a free agent, baby.
So I've never taken any psychedelic drugs, but I do smoke a lot of weed.
Yeah.
So every day. I started doing it like mainly just in college because it was fun, but like now I do it because like I don't like depression.
Yeah.
Legalize marijuana.
That's hilarious, bro.
Legalize marijuana.
Legalize the weed. That's hilarious. Because I don't like depression.
But no, I definitely one time I got, so this was in college, and it was right after Valentine's Day. I remember that for some reason, but so I was at this party with my friends, and I'm like 20 at the time, I think, and so at this point, I smoked a lot of weed that night, and I got pretty drunk, and then my friend who I knew from high school, she pops out this little Altoids tray, and she's like, does anybody want an Adderall? And I'm like, what the fuck's an Adderall? Because I never took Adderall in school. I didn't do any drugs in high school. I didn't even drink. So I'm like, what is this? So, I mean, I'm like 3 sheets to the wind at this point. So I do take the Adderall. Well, little did I know it's one of those extended release Adderalls. Uh-huh. So I got it for the whole 12 hours. So the party dies at probably like 2 a.m. Well, me and my friend that took this Adderall, we ended up in like the student lounge. And we're like, just, ready to go. So in strolls this guy who, like, creepy dude. So he's like the creep motherfucker of campus. He often gets security called on him because he'll obsess over these, like, foreign exchange students, these females. And then he'll go to their room at, like, 2 a.m. and get super drunk and bang on their doors and, like, scream until they, like,
look, you don't have to call me out like that.
Yeah, it was Robert. It was Robert. I was going to keep your name out of this, but...
Okay, so XR Adderall.
Yeah, so anyways, we run into this guy, and he's 3 sheets to the wind, too. So me and my buddy start trying to have this come to Jesus moment with him about why he shouldn't, try and rape women.
Yeah. Accurate.
And he's crying and laying it out on the line that nobody loves him and all this stuff. And my buddy, we're in theater college together, so I'm straight, he's gay. We're cool with it. This guy drops the F bomb on him. Says something about him
word?
being a
fago.
Yep.
Oh no!
And my buddy loses his fucking shit. Runs at the guy. I mean, full power of extended release Adderall behind him, and I'm holding him back. And he's I'm probably a good 190 at this point. He's probably like 130. So I've just got him. So I drag him back to the room. At this point, it's like 8 a.m. It's Sunday. My family always goes to church on Sunday. So I wake up my girlfriend, like, we're going to go to church. It's fine. We got the energy. And my Lord, did we praise Jesus that morning. We did. We had such an experience. We were glad to be alive. We were glad that we almost converted this creepy rapist in the... And man, we sang our hearts out that morning, and then immediately crashed on the couch.
Oh, this is why we live. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Damn, shout out to Adderall, dude. Don't take too much of it.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do
It's not
drugs. Let's stay away from drugs. Unless they're good ones.
Unless you want to.
Unless you can stay motivated for 12 hours and write 14 songs like Bob Dylan. He attributed all of his songwriting to speed. Really? Bob Dylan did. But that probably explains the intense cigarette usage as well.
And the
And
amount of words in every song. It seems like,
can't even understand him anymore.
if you need that much. But it's hard. It's hard to. I think it's hard to point. Like, shout out to Bob Dylan. Speaking of Bob Dylan, I'm going to plug something real quick here.
Okay. Yeah.
This Friday, there is a Bob Dylan tribute concert
At the castle.
At the castle. Shout out to Jeremy Jewell.
Yeah, putting it on.
I will be playing there.
So will I.
You're going to be playing there too?
My Government's Cardigan.
What?
Thumping the bass.
Oh, play with me.
All right.
So are you playing?
Excuse me?
Are you playing? Play with him.
Later.
I've got a plug. Play with me. Okay. So are you guys all playing Bob Dylan covers?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, that's what's up, dude. Yeah, he's been doing that for how many years?
Yeah, he's been doing it for a while, I think.
I think it's just a couple.
Really?
I mean, maybe.
Gosh, I want to say it was like it was a long time. Jeremy's a hard worker, though. I love him so
sure.
much.
Yeah, I like Jeremy a lot.
Okay, so on to you, Albot. We've got to know what kind of creepy shit you got into in Spain.
I have not been into any creepy shit. I mostly just drink, and that's not to say I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink.
I just like drinking.
I just like drinking. No, I mean, I've smoked some weed in my day, but not anymore. It's mostly just I'm a very big fan of beer. So
Beer.
craft beer, just be specific. No, none of that Coors Light shit. But so yeah, I don't have any stories like Judah's. Shout out to Coors Light.
Judah stole the show
Judah did, yeah.
with that Adderall story, praising Jesus.
Yeah, next to that story, I'm Mr. Nice Guy over here.
God damn, dude. Judah, you stole the fucking show, bro.
Sorry, man. I live a crazy life.
No, I like it. And I like honesty. That's the most important thing, when people don't hold things back, because let's be honest, man, when we put a cloak on our existence and we're not as transparent, one, it immediately makes you're enslaved to something, whether it's your own thoughts, you're enslaved to public perception, whatever that may be. And that's kind of why people envy kind of my existence in my show, because we can just let it all hang out. We don't have to be held back by anything. And I've had politicians on this show. I've had people who are in the process of suing somebody so they can't talk about things. It's a very weird place to be, because they can't be transparent. All the while, long-form conversation like this is meant to have transparency tied to it. So I'm really glad you guys were able to come in here, clear the air in regards to Nate, who still owes me $40 for a hoodie. After you guys played with Yam House, right? I help boost that show, and then 2, I go buy a T-shirt from you guys for my wife, and he's like, "Oh, I want a hoodie." I was like, "Yeah, I got one. Let me run to my car quick for you. It'll be $40. Oh, I'll Venmo you." Still waiting on that Venmo, Nate. No, it's going with the wind now. I don't expect it.
I'll see
Going
him
with the
tonight,
wind.
so I'll tell him to give you your $40.
No, I don't give a shit. Gone with the wind, like his fucking hair on stage, with that fan he would have behind him. The worst part about it is when he would drop bombs, farts, the wind would just freaking blast it off, dude. And you can always tell it's a Nate fart.
What does a Nate fart smell like?
You can tell it's a Nate fart because of the way it is.
Yep. Because of the way it is.
Because it's out in the audience and not
Yep.
because of the fan.
Yep,
You know,
the
it's
fan just
blowing out
blows
to the
it.
audience, which I'm thankful for. Maybe
Bro.
that's the reason he had that fan, just to get his swamp ass out of here.
Yeah, dude.
Stank out of the...
Damn, just send it packing. Get it out of here, dude. With love. With love. Okay, so where can people find you on social media?
You can follow us on Facebook,
Dead Insta.
Twin Lakes Band, Instagram, Twin Lakes Band, Twitter. I don't know. We might have a Twitter.
We do have a Twitter. I don't think we've used it in a hot minute.
And then you can find us on.
Are you guys on Spotify?
Yes.
We are on Spotify.
Okay, beautiful.
Our EP,
Twin Lakes.
Twin Lakes
Stag
EP, plus a single called Bird is on there
Plus a
as well.
single on Bird. New music on the way.
Yes.
New single coming out
Yes.
June 1st.
Yes.
It's gonna be popping. It's gonna be a step up from what we've ever released. It's gonna be a lot.
If
more.
the only thing you've heard from us is what we have on on the interwebs right now. This is going to be a far cry from that.
Yeah.
But that's not to say it's going to be. You're gonna like it.
Yeah, for sure. The production on it is great. And if you don't,
And if you don't, fuck off. Then.
Yeah, if you don't like it,
Judah didn't want
fuck
to
your
say
mother.
it, so I said it.
And shout out to Zach Zern, Carpet Booth Studios. Are you guys doing your recording there?
Nope, it's all through me.
it's all
There we go.
in-house.
In-house,
Yeah.
the cheaper route.
Mr.
Not
Alex
that we
Ortberg.
wouldn't, of course.
Of course.
Zach Zern runs a tight ship over there.
Shout out to Zach Zern.
Well, you can obviously engineer.
Yes.
You know how to hit buttons.
I do.
So when it kind of allows for more.
That's an elegant way of putting it.
Well, no.
Yeah.
That's what Kanye would say. I stand behind a white man and he hits all the buttons. Shout out to
Same.
Kanye West. No, but like it's shout out to Kanye. Please, Kanye, come back down to earth. Please join us. Make the spaceship drop you off. I'll call you an Uber. Kanye, come home.
Yeah, we felt for this album, we felt like we at least for this first full length album, we were gonna record it ourselves, and I think because we talked about it. This was back in last September. We talked about it. We're like, well, Alex, do you want to record this thing? Do you want to do it? We can go to a studio, and I remember Alex's dad. This was at the Zambroto Theater. It was on my birthday, September 14th. Anyways, it was like Alex's dad was like, "Nah, it sounds good. You guys just recorded in house." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." Which now thinking back, it's a good idea for this one. I feel like it leaves a lot more money for us to invest in like promotional stuff because that's very often overlooked at least in music scene, because for some reason musicians do not want to promote their own shit because they think it's cheating or some shit. But we're definitely gonna spend a good amount of money and time with the promotion of it because we don't want to rush it.
And now we have that money because we've spent $0 on recording.
Yeah, yep.
Which is nice.
Very nice. And yeah, honestly, like that's why Alex is such a huge, like, I'm very thankful for being in the same band as Alex because
I'm cheap, that's why.
Because he was able to do all this for us. And on top of that, he's an insane drummer, so it's like fucking win-win.
Yeah, it's good to be part of this group. It lets me do. It's different from Winter State, or it's different from I drum with Annie Mac a lot too, or John Stevers, or any of the other groups that I play with. It's something very unique, which is thanks to Robert's writing style, which keeps changing. It keeps throwing me for a loop, but I love it because it's something different. Every song he brings is a little bit,
If you like on top of that, if you like this album's probably it's a little bit step up. It's a little bit more rockier than just a typical folk album that we released with that EP.
You get some tastes of some pretty heavy stuff.
Yes.
Not like anything screamo or anything like that.
But it's
not a bad idea.
Still in the realm of like folk rock. But I think after this album, I think we're gonna slowly, at least the next album after this is gonna be
album number 2 is gonna be fire.
It's gonna be heavy
Amish presence.
Heavy Amish
heavy
presence.
Amish. That's gonna be our genre.
We're gonna be doing a lot of crazy. We got a lot of good breakdowns. We're doing breakdowns now. Guitar solos. With the writing isn't just about pull and tail.
Minor tonality, weird harmonies.
The writing is gonna the writing is gonna be a lot more abstract rather than like concrete.
You've been listening. Who you've been listening to lately has influenced? What was the band you showed me? No, was it The Used? No,
Brand New.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to them.
Will can your debut video be like an Amish anime?
That's too late. We already.
too
but
late.
Our next one.
Yeah,
That'd be
for the
hot,
next
though.
album, Amish anime. I could just see a lot of hammers
Pitchforks.
flowing on a roof, just going to town, beards, sideburns, just the whole shebang. The typical round hats,
Those little bonnets.
little bonnets. Rob loves the bonnets. You can see him getting all hot and bothered over here. Just all this bonnet
Shout out
talk.
to Bonnets.
Shout out to bonnets
Swear
on
by
nurses.
Pretty floral bonnet. I will end you.
A good Amish woman wears a white bonnet, Alex. You should know that.
That's how
Floral
we know.
is way too flashy.
That's how we know she's a nice lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
she's not
doesn't want to
prideful.
stunt too hard on these.
Poofy shoulder pads. Albot, poofy shoulder
There's going to be
pads.
plenty
bro.
of poofy shoulder pads in our next music video for sure.
Can we be like, can our next music video be Heather's themed and we each be a Heather?
Yes,
We're gonna have a hoedown
Yeah. Hold
that
on.
is the truth.
for
That is
next
the
music
truth.
video. We're gonna have a hoedown. Yeah, and we're gonna do some line dancing. We're gonna do some
Lines.
jitterbugging.
What the fuck, Rob? We didn't want to take this back to the 50s, dog.
Oh, we gonna take it back to
we're
the
gonna
50s.
take it back.
Oh, we
It's gonna
taking
be
it
fun. It's gonna be fun.
wobble bass back. All right, boys, I appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming over and hanging out with me in my daughter's playroom. Appreciate you.
Thank
Hell
you,
yeah,
man. It was
thank
great
you.
to meet you.